Hey, back for another chat, and in this video I wanted to talk about how it is to be a mom and some mom things that I've been thinking about lately. I got pregnant quite late in the game. I was 36 when I got pregnant. By 36, I had been performing professionally as a singer, dancer, actor for almost 20 years because I started very young. And I knew that I really wanted to have a baby. We wanted to have a baby, and so we figured, okay, let's go ahead and kind of cool it with the performing and let's start trying. And we got pregnant within, I think, 2 or 3 months of trying. And so I was pregnant at 36, and because I was in great shape and because of the diet that I follow, I had a really healthy pregnancy. I have a ton of pregnancy videos. If you're interested, I'll leave them in the description. Speaking of being a mom, little one just woke up from his nap. How you doing, little boy? So I had this amazing pregnancy, and I read so much about being pregnant. I wanted to do everything right. I wanted to have all the healthy food. I wanted to do everything that I possibly could to make this pregnancy go well. And it was a phenomenal pregnancy. I had 0 complications. I had a really wonderful, though extremely long, labor and delivery at home, and it was great. I had a couple complications just from the hard labor postpartum, but everything healed up wonderfully. But soon after I had given birth, I realized I researched so much about being pregnant and about the birth itself. What am I supposed to do now that I'm a mom? I had no idea what to do, and I just felt a little bit lost. And things changed so much in that first year of being a mom. And I feel like so many people told me that things were gonna change, and so many people said, oh, it's not gonna be the same, you're not gonna have time for yourself. All these things that, yeah, I heard, but honestly, until you experience it yourself, I feel like you don't really hear what somebody's gonna say. I can relate it to when I was younger, when I was a teenager. I was really rebellious, and you could tell me to do something or tell me not to do something, but until I got myself in my own mess and realized that, oh, that's what they meant, I was not really getting the picture. And that's kind of how I feel with motherhood. And I'm a new mom, so I don't know everything. So just know this is my own opinion, and I'm not saying that I'm any kind of an expert on being a mom. Being a mom, it has been one of the most eye-opening, humbling, life-changing things ever, and there's so many wonderful benefits to it. I love with all my heart this little guy. I feel like there's so much wisdom in things that Shonda Rhimes has said about childhood and motherhood. I will put some quotes up so that you can see kind of what I'm talking about. Really, I felt so caught off guard. There is no checklist. There is no training to train you to be a mother. There's so many opinions out there on how you should do it and what you should do. And if you do it this way, you're a bad mom. And if you do it this way, you're a bad mom. And if you don't do it this way, there's so much stuff. There can be so much pressure. But I told myself early on, I'm gonna do what feels right and follow my own intuition. I love reading, I love researching, and believe me, I've done mountains and mountains of research on every single subject, but at the end of the day, you have to go with what resonates with you, and that's kind of what I've done. I feel like he has changed my life for the better in so many ways. I am a different person, so different than who I was before, and I just feel like it's really humbled me a lot, changed my outlook on what's important, and it's also been a struggle, and I want to be very real with that here. There's certain things that people struggle with as new moms, and I just want to share with you the things that I've found to be hard or a struggle to let you know you're not alone if you're dealing with the same things. I'm really happy that we waited until 36 to get pregnant. I really feel like we got to live our life together. We traveled, we did everything that we wanted to do. All the dreams that I had as a child were growing up, being a professional performer, doing that for my full-time work, and I got to do all of that. I got to travel around the world. I've seen every single continent except for Australia, and I owe all of that to performing. I got to spend 10 good years with my husband, getting to know each other and enjoying our life together. All of those things were really important to us, and I'm really glad we got to do them all before we had a baby. Not that having a baby ends your life, I don't want to give you that connotation, but it's just a new stage of life, and having had the time with Chris to travel and to perform was really a dream come true. I feel like my marriage with Chris was super strong, super solid. We were always in really great quality time, great conversations, like real, true, deep connection. And after having a baby, that was kind of put on the back burner and really threw us for a loop, I feel. I think that for anybody, the time right after you have a baby, even into all the way up to the first 2 years, maybe longer, I don't know, I'll let you know, can be really rough on a marriage. Shifting priorities happens immediately, overnight, basically. Like within hours of the baby being born, all of your priorities have just been turned on their heads. And so finding that new balance is a struggle, has been a struggle for me. Trying to find pockets of time for each other. Me trying to balance being a wife, being a mother, being my own person has been a struggle for me, and something that I'd say is one of the biggest struggles this whole time of being a mom. I feel like it's really easy to lose yourself, or it has been really easy to lose myself in this process. Before I had a baby, I was very rigid with my schedule, with my goals, maybe to a fault, and having a baby has forced me to take a look at that side of myself and realize that I can't do it all. And the thing is, I only have one kid. I don't know how anybody does it with 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. I don't know how you do this. So that is an area that I've really struggled with personally, and maybe you're struggling with it too. I feel like you're not really told about how much of your time and your life and your being will be consumed by this little human. And on one hand, I love it. I love my little human with everything I've got. I love giving my time to him. But on the other hand, it is quite a learning curve when I'm not able to do things that I would like to do. So I guess that's kind of like a dying to self time. And if there's any mothers out here with older children, I know you're just laughing at what I'm saying probably, but please remember this time in the early years when you did struggle with it too. So with our marriage, I think that it's really something that I've come to the conclusion of is I really gotta make time for it. And if I don't, it's something that slips between the cracks when I can feel that we're fighting more, or we're on each other's nerves, or in bad moods. It is something that I need to give more attention to. For me, really trying to take time, even if it's a couple of minutes, to say, I appreciate you, I love you, I know this is a rough time, but I'm thinking of you, let me make you some dinner, what can I do to help you, even if it's something tiny, thank you for all you do for us. Those little things go a long way. I can only imagine being a husband in the situation when you've just had a baby. You kind of probably feel like you're put on the back burner, you feel forgotten, maybe you feel lonely, maybe you feel neglected. And Chris, I'm sorry if I've done that to you. But I just really am consciously now, especially now, trying my very best to find that wife-mom balance because I think it's really, really important for my marriage. One thing that I couldn't prepare myself for, that I don't think anybody can prepare themselves for, is the lack of sleep. If you have one of those perfect angelic babies that sleeps all night through from the very first night they were born and you'd never have problems, man, you're really lucky. So be really thankful. That is not how Eli has been. He has never liked to sleep really, and we've gone through periods of great sleep and gone through periods of horrible sleep, with more horrible periods than great periods. Oh, bless you. Feeling human and being able to go through a day with all of my faculties intact on very little sleep has been something that has been extremely hard, and I really don't like. We definitely are thinking about having another baby, and one of the things that makes me so worried is the lack of sleep that will come with 2 babies. I'm very scared for that. I have to be very honest. Another thing that I feel like I was completely blindsided by was the amount of time it takes to get ready to get out of the house. I only have 1 kid, like it shouldn't be that difficult, and yet it is. Because I was such a planner ahead of time, I kind of feel like that did help me with a child, because I've got to plan like so much margin in my life. If I want to get anywhere on time, I have to plan like the worst case scenario is gonna occur anytime I want to leave the house to be able to get there on time. If I think, oh, we'll do this and then that will happen and this will happen, it never happens like that. If I have to work or do a gig or I'm performing at night, I start like at 3 in the afternoon. If I have to be out the door by like 6 o'clock, I'm not even kidding. I'll do half my hair. I'll do just my eyes and put my eyelashes on. And then I know that at least if all else fails, those few things are done, so I can take care of Eli, feed him, put him to bed, put him to a nap, something always goes wrong. And so making sure that I have margin is like, I actually think that's the key to everything, to be honest with you. I think that is, I've just answered my own question. Having margin, preparing for the worst case scenario, and hoping for the best is really how I live my life these days. Another thing that I've struggled with, and I know that other people have too, because I've talked to friends of mine who are new moms, is just, am I doing it right? I don't want to screw up this kid. I don't want to have him have issues. And the thing is, I know I'm going to make mistakes. I know that there's things that I thought, okay, I finally get this. And then the baby goes through a growth spurt and changes completely and nothing works again. It's a constant learning process as a mom. And it really makes me have so much respect for my mom and what she went through. And I know she did a lot of it alone because my dad was traveling all the time. And just really trying to have some grace with myself, because none of us know it. None of us have a handbook or a rule book on how we do this. And like at the end of the day, it just comes down, in my opinion, to intuition. If something feels right, if I've read something about like sleep training or what to do if this problem creeps up, if it doesn't resonate or feel right inside me, I'm not gonna do it, because when I go against what I think is right inside my heart, then it doesn't work. I really think no matter how much advice you seek and no matter how many things you're trying to like do by the book, if you don't feel confident with it and if it doesn't resonate with your inside and how you feel, it's not gonna work. You gotta follow your gut with motherhood. That's what I'm learning more and more, to just be firm on that and follow my gut. Letting go of being perfect. I just gotta let it go, because life travels on, things move at the speed of light. Some days go by and it's like, how did the entire day go by? And I've done absolutely zero things, putting out fires. And letting go of that perfection and just being in the moment is something that I feel like I've really struggled with, but am now coming to terms with. And something I say to myself a lot, like through the course of the day, is this is life. This is life. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times I will be thinking about all the things I can't get done, or the things that I have to do that I have not been able to get done. In the meantime, I'm squandering precious moments with Eli. I'm not in the moment because I'm anxiously thinking about the future. I don't think there's anything wrong with thinking about the future. I think that we need to have goals and we need to have an idea or direction of where we want our life to be. But in those times when I am like worried about the future, or worried about work, or worried about how I'm gonna get everything done, I'm neglecting what's going on in the present. And I realize that this is like exactly what's happening at the moment. I'm breastfeeding and I'm filming a video, so touche. And just being busy, it cannot be an excuse. I feel so busy all of the time. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom and you're just trying to stay on top of that, or whether you're a working mom and you're trying to stay on top of that and feeling guilty about not spending time with your kids, or if you're doing both like me, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I'm also working mom. It's hard, no matter how you slice it. We're all freaking busy, and I hate to be busy. But in those times, this is when life is passing me by. So I need to really focus on and try my best to be in the present moment. When I have moments with Eli, I need to be there in those moments. And when he's taking a nap, or when he's somewhere else, or when he's with Chris, those are the moments that I work on something else, and really just reminding myself that this is life. These are the moments going by. So choose to be engaged with it or not. And also, another thing that I tell myself all the time is everything has to be done. In early motherhood, I would get really pissed off at myself because I liked doing things in a certain way. First you make the bed, then you take a shower, then you clean whatever, and then you start doing your work. I don't think there's been a single day in the last almost 2 years when things have gone the way I wanted them to go. And a few months ago, I was so annoyed with myself and so frustrated. I was like, I gotta give this up. Obviously, this is not working. I don't know that things will ever go the way I want them to go ever again, and I have to be okay with that. Everything needs to be done, and it'll get done when it can get done. So, although I wish that someone had told me this, like I said before, I can be kind of hard-headed, and I will not understand or get the point until I go through it myself. So these are some of the things that I've struggled with. But I don't want this to be like a complaining video. I love being a mom. It's changed me for the good. It's changed me forever. And I'm so, so happy with the blessing that is our little boy. I love him so much every single day. He teaches me something about myself that needs to change. He shows me childlike wonder. The Bible verse where it talks about trusting God with childlike faith, I see that displayed every single day. He has no pretense. Everything that he does is real. He's not afraid or ashamed of who he is. And that's how we're supposed to be. It makes me see how we could be before the world told us who to be. And there's such an innocence and just purity about that. I love it. I want to not care about what people think. I want to have that childlike trust and faith and humility. I mean, children are so humble because they're always looking for the older, wiser person to show them how to do it. I want to have that humility in my life. And I feel that becoming a mother really allows you to have, if you have the time, to examine yourself and see, all the things you get caught up in, this web of like just pretense that is just so yucky and prideful, and really makes me take a step back and re-examine who I am as a person, who I am as a mother, who I am as a wife, who I am as a person out in the world. And I love that motherhood has shown me that, and I love to be a mom. I feel so privileged to be a mom. If you can identify with any of these things, I know that was like all over the place, highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, but I really feel like that's kind of how motherhood is. It's a lot of highs, it's a lot of lows, and I'm just learning. This is just the beginning. I've got so much in front of me, I know, and I am looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to being in the moments as they happen. I hope this encouraged you if you're feeling frustrated as a new mom, or if you just needed to hear that someone else is going through it. I need to hear that a lot, to not feel like I'm alone. And the last thing I want to say is that I need help. As a mom, I thought I could do it all, and I really need help. One person cannot be everything to everyone, including themselves. I need help. My girlfriend and I have made our own little babysitting co-op where I'll take her kids one week and she gets to do things that she needs to do, and then she'll take my kid and I get to get some things done that I need to get done. And gosh, when I have help, it is so wonderful. When Chris takes the baby grocery shopping, that's like 2 birds, 1 stone. He gets the groceries and he takes care of the baby so I can get something done. It's awesome. When my mom takes my baby for an hour even, that's helpful. When she watches him while we both are working, amazing. This is so hard to do on your own, so find a support network if you don't have one, because doing it by yourself is really hard. I hope this encouraged you. Let me know your thoughts down below.